The boy took a bite of the yam, and his laughter turned to sobbing. He clutched his chest, gasping, "She's here. I can feel her," before running into the market's chaos. His discarded bowl clattered to the ground, drawing the attention of those nearby. This was not the first time such an event occurred at Mama Oji's stall. Deep in the heart of a bustling Nassauan market, where the air throbbed with the clang of cowrie shells and the hum of haggling voices, stood Mama Oji, a yam seller like no other. Her stall was modest, just a woven mat, a clay pot of water, and an array of yams so golden, so plump, they seemed kissed by the gods themselves. People traveled from distant villages to taste her yams, whispering among themselves that Mama Oji had been blessed by the spirits. Some claimed they had seen strange lights flicker around her stall at dusk, like fireflies that never left. Others whispered of a soft hum, almost like a song, that seemed to rise from her yams when the market was silent. The elders swore they could smell the faintest hint of incense on the breeze when they passed by. A sign, they said, of the spirit's favor. But what no one knew was that the sweetness of her yams came at a terrible cost, a cost so steep, even the spirits turned their eyes away. Long ago, Mama Oji was an ordinary woman, scraping by with honest toil. Her yams were unremarkable, her profits meager, yet she was content. That is, until the market's rising star, Ife, began stealing her customers. Ife's yams were larger, fresher, and cheaper. Worse, she mocked Mama Oji openly, calling her the seller of stones. Ife's laughter stung deeper than a scorpion's bite, echoing in Mama Oji's mind long after the market had emptied. That night, as she lay on her thin mat, staring at the cracks in her hut's ceiling, the humiliation gnawed at her. The mocking faces of her neighbors played like a cruel theater in her head. Every jibe, every sneer felt like another stone placed on her chest. By dawn, desperation consumed her. A desperation so fierce it drove her to the forbidden forest, where even the bravest dared not tread. She would not let Eve laugh at her again. The forbidden forest was a place of shadow and whispers. Every rustle of leaves felt like unseen eyes watching. In its heart lived Nwanza, the weaver of fates, a shadowy figure who could grant both blessings and curses. "You wish for greatness," Nwanza rasped, his voice like dry leaves scratching against stone. "Yes," Mama Oji whispered, clutching the hem of her wrapper. "I want my yams to be the best in the land. No one must surpass me." Nwanza's smile revealed teeth as sharp as daggers. "Very well, but every desire carries a price. Are you willing to pay it?" Without asking what the price would be, Mama Oji nodded. She had no idea that her hands would soon drip with the essence of the souls she once called neighbors. The next day, Ife vanished. In her place, a yam appeared on Mama Oji's mat, larger than any she had ever seen. Hesitant, she peeled it, revealing flesh so white it gleamed in the sun. When she cooked and tasted it, her tongue danced with flavors she couldn't describe. Savory, yet sweet. Earthy, yet ethereal. That yam sold within moments, and word of its taste spread like wildfire. Soon, other competitors began to disappear. Ebun, the butcher's wife. Kunle, the fisherman's son. Each disappearance was marked by the appearance of a yam so perfect it seemed otherworldly. What Mama Oji didn't know was that those who ate her yams began to experience strange visions. A young boy, biting into a piece, suddenly wept, seeing a woman's hands that looked like his mother's, weaving baskets by the river. An elder, savoring a morsel, swore he felt the ocean spray on his face, though he hadn't left the village in decades. These weren't visions, they were memories. The memories of the cursed. For some, these memories brought uncontrollable grief, as they saw lost loved ones and moments they could never revisit. Others were haunted, their dreams invaded by faces they didn't recognize but whose emotions they could feel. Sorrow, fear, rage. A young mother vomited her meal, shaking as she screamed about hands clutching at her, pleading for release. a hunter, strong and stoic, broke down in the middle of the market, whispering apologies to someone who wasn't there. Each bite seemed to steal a piece of their sanity, leaving behind a trail of unease and guilt. Behind her stall, hidden in the dark recesses of her hut, was one yam Mama Oji could never bring herself to sell. It was large and knotted, with a deep crack that oozed a sticky sap. This yam was Kofi, her husband, a man who had betrayed her in a way no words could ever heal. He had stolen the little savings she had and run off with another woman, only to crawl back to her doorstep, destitute, when his plans fell apart. "You think I would forgive?" Mama Oji hissed the night she transformed him. "You will sit here and watch me thrive, just as I watched you abandon me." Yet in the quiet moments of the night, when the market's clamor had faded, Mama Oji would sit before him, her lantern casting long shadows on the walls. "You deserved this," she whispered, her voice trembling, though whether from anger or regret, even she could not tell. "Didn't you?" But the yam offered no reply, only the faint drip of sap breaking the silence. She would reach out, her hand hovering over his rough surface, and pull back as if burned. Sometimes she wondered if she was punishing him or herself. But curses have a way of creeping back, and Mwanza's price was not yet fully paid. One morning, as Mama Oji peeled a yam, she noticed her fingers were stiff, her nails darkening to the hue of soil. Days later, her legs swelled, her skin hardening into a rough bark-like texture. By the time she realized what was happening, it was too late. Her reflection in a water pot revealed eyes that were no longer human, but hollow and black, like those of a yam. "You are becoming what you have sown," Mwanza's voice echoed, a grim reminder that greed and vengeance are seeds that bear bitter fruit. Mama Oji's body, now transforming, was a testament to the inescapable justice that comes when one sows harm in pursuit of selfish desires. The market woke one day to find Mama Oji's stall empty. On her mat lay a single, enormous yam, so golden it seemed to radiate light. No one dared touch it, for they knew. The whispers of the market had grown into a storm, and the truth was clear. The taste of greed is bitter, no matter how sweet it seems at first. The yam was left to rot, untouched, as a reminder of the price of dishonor and unchecked greed. Over time, it sprouted vines that twisted and coiled like the hands of the cursed, reaching out as if pleading for redemption. No one in the market dared to approach it, yet its presence loomed, a silent warning to all who passed. And in the night when the wind howled, some swore they could hear Mama Oji's voice crying from the darkness, "Don't eat me, please, don't eat me." Greed may bring fleeting riches, but the wealth gained at the expense of others will turn to ash in your hands. Honest work may not shine as brightly, but its rewards are lasting and pure. And beware, what you take from others may one day take you. But how about you, dear listener? When have you felt so invisible that you were willing to do anything to be seen? Share a moment of absolute honesty. No judgment, just pure connections. The most courageous share gets pinned as our top comment and wins our respect as we build our community of proud African heritage here. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it, and don't forget to subscribe for more folk tales from African mythology.